Okay, AI scientists, this is our last lecture for the week two, our lecture 4 for our MSAI 599 B01 Second Bi term for the summer of 2025, transforming business with AI. So, in our last lecture, before I go into our assignments, because that's all we're going to be talking about in this last lecture is the assignments, I just want us to be mindful of making sure we stay the course. Just a couple of little housekeeping items. Want to make sure we stay focused, keep our feet on the gas. Guys, do not get behind in this course, as I mentioned last week, because once you get behind, like in the good old words of Liam Neeson in Taken, good luck. So, and we don't want you guys to go down that path. So let's stay moving forward. Let's keep our feet on the gas pedal, as I mentioned, and then life will be good. Okay. So, with that being said, that's my housekeeping items, and you guys know about my feedback that I will be giving on your week one assignments. You should get them typically Friday, Saturday morning, Friday evening, but I will have some invaluable feedback on each of your assignments. So look forward to that. But in the meantime, stay focused on week two and moving forward. Okay. Do not get behind. And always, as I mentioned in week one, be on time with your assignments. Okay. Because I don't like giving zeros for those who are late, even a minute late. So there's no uh, cushion. There's no gray area, either on time or you're late. And that's pretty much it. Okay. All righty. So now we got those last little housekeeping items. Let's go over what we're going to be doing this week for our week two. Okay. Now, here in week two, we're going to have a total of three assignments. Okay. As I mentioned earlier, we got one in regard to the Starbucks. You're going to see that in case study number 4. And then we also have another case study, okay, which that one's going to be in regard to Microsoft. You're going to appreciate that as well. But before I go into those two case studies, as I mentioned, we do have three assignments. Let's go to I like to think, the easier one first because it's a discussion post. And you guys know now when we do discussions, you do your initial post, and those are due by Friday. And then your subsequent peer response posts are due by Sunday at 11:59 p.m. as well as you know about the initial post that's due on Friday by 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or Eastern Daylight Savings Time. Either way, EDT or EST, but it's due uh, by 11:59, and I believe it is daylight savings time because of the time. Maybe I don't know, but I'm never really good at that Eastern Standard Time, Eastern Daylight Savings Time. It kind of throws me off. I know you fall back in the fall and you spring forward in the spring, so that's the way I always looked at it, and it works out better for me. So I always say just Eastern Standard Time, EST. Make it easy, even though Eastern Daylight Savings Time, Daylight Time is the same as EST. See, I get kind of boggled down with that sometimes. Okay. Alrighty. So now on our discussion post, again, this one is going to be pretty straightforward. You're going to like it. All you got to do is watch the lecture videos that I've already given you, and then read the lecture readings that you guys know what chapters to read now. It's chapters, as we talked about earlier, right? Do I have to mention it? I guess I will, just to be on the safe side. But in our chapters, it's going to be only chapters 4 and 5. Okay. So you guys go through the book, find it. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You got to go read it and find out what the chapter is. But as I previously told you, it's all about everything that I talked about in our deliverables that I'm expecting you from this week, as well as the overview. So that's a hint. But you got to go back and take notes on those chapters. So Make sure you take chapter notes for 4 and 5, excluding 3. It's all about chapters 4 and 5, okay? So, so you're going to watch the lecture videos and read the lecture readings, of course, and then participate in the class discussion on the following questions. Conduct research to identify a company that utilizes AI in its marketing operations. Provide a brief overview of the company, including their industry, products or services offered, and any other relevant details. This sounds very familiar, doesn't it, guys? Analyze how the company utilizes AI to achieve better results in its marketing efforts. You may consider the specific AI tools or techniques they use, the benefits they have experienced from implementing AI in their marketing strategy, and any potential drawbacks and or limitations to their respective approach, right? So, and you know you can't be pasting and copy any sources, okay? So when when you're referencing any sources, you must always paraphrase and or rephrase from the author. Really straightforward, guys. Nothing that you haven't seen already. We just did one in week 1, okay? So no, so always paraphrase APA format. I shouldn't have to tell you how many in-text citations at a minimum I'm looking for. You should know that now from week 1. So I'm not gonna. So if you don't give me the number that I request, the minimum, I will take off points, because if you only give me 2 or even 1, that's not enough. Because if you give me 2, you're just going back and forth. 3, haha, there it is. Now I can tell you you're getting a little bit more into your assignment, because you got 3 in-text citations and references, of course, that it shows me that you're taking time out to really get some nice sources for your discussion posts. And same thing with the papers, right? It's always a minimum of 3 in this course, but the more you give me, the better. Okay, so just do a good job, everybody, on your discussion topic that I just talked about. Minimum words on your initial post, 100 words, but it's going to be a lot more than that, as we talked about in week 1. And then also your peer responses, a minimum of 50 words. And like I said, it's going to be more than that, because you're going to have 3 in-text citations with those references. So, okay, so just do a good job. That's the easy assignment, I like to say, because that's a solid 35 points that you can just always eat up and just nail that by doing your part. Initial post by Friday, and your 2 peer review posts by your peer responses by that Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Okay, all righty. So that's your first assignment for this week 2. Now your second assignment is that therefore mentioned case study, and this is case study number 3, and it's all about AI initiatives in Microsoft. And this one is worth 40 points. Okay, so case 3, in regard to the AI initiatives in Microsoft, this is where you're going to have to write the essay, and you're going to have to answer the following 4 questions, okay? I'm not going to read the questions. I'm going to let you guys, when you go do this assignment, read the questions, APA formatting, do a great job, know Chat GPT, and that's what it's all about, right? So just do a good job with the paper, guys. You know how many citations and references. Use our template. Use our template that I put out there on the announcement board, and you guys will be good to go. I nailed it for you, so I expect you to nail it for me when you present your papers, as I mentioned last week. The template sets you up to win. Don't deviate from that template, and just remember, each time you have a main title in the center of the page, you're going to have to always have a left justified subtitle after that paragraph from that main title. Every section has a minimum of a paragraph, and a paragraph is four sentences. Okay, so always know that. Okay, so and that's your first assignment. Pretty straightforward. AI initiatives. Answer those questions that I put there for you, and do a good job. No cheating. No chat GPT. You can't have the computer doing the work for you. That's not scholarly. That's cheating, and that's a violation of the University of the Cumberland's Code of Ethics, and that you don't want to go down that path. Okay, because I will be checking to see if it's Chat GPT, as I told you last week. Okay, so there you go. Alrighty, so that's the first assignment. Let's see now what our second assignment is going to be all about, and it's pretty straightforward. The second assignment, actually, this is the third, excuse me, the third assignment. Okay. We know the first assignment was that discussion post, understanding AI in marketing. Second assignment was the case study number 3, AI initiatives in Microsoft worth 45 points. And that first assignment, the discussion post, we know was worth 35 points. Okay. Now, your third assignment is the case study number 4, and this is all about Starbucks, personalized marketing. And this one, too, is also worth 40 points. So, got a solid week this week, guys. In this assignment, the primary focus is about transforming a business is to detect its deficiencies, right? When you transform any business, a task that can be facilitated by utilizing data and AI. This class project will teach you how to identify business issues using customer satisfaction surveys and exploring data analysis, EDA. Customer satisfaction surveys is a tool used to measure how satisfied customers are with a business product, service, or overall experience. These surveys help to identify deficiencies in business, as customers often provide feedback on the areas where the business needs to improve. Understanding the customer's needs and expectations is crucial for business to thrive in today's competitive market. EDA is a technique used to understand the data and find pattern relationships and outliers in data. EDA helps to identify hidden insights and trends in data that could be useful for identifying business problems. There will be 2 phases for this class project. Phase 1, you will find a customer satisfaction data set in Kaggle. So you're going to have to find it. And there it is. I got a link for you. Okay. In the assignment, you will write a 2-page project proposal essay. Okay. Do a good job, everybody, because I'm really checking out your work on this assignment, because I really liked, well, I like all my assignments, but I'm really have a little bias on this assignment because I'm really going to be looking. Because this is one where you're going to be finding which one you want to use, the data set out of Kaggle. Okay. All right. So under the search file, type customer satisfaction to search all the data sets on customer satisfaction. This is when you click on that link in Kaggle that I gave you. You just and you provide a link to it in the proposal document, blah, blah, blah. Okay, as I just alluded to. You're going to have to explain why you chose this data set and provide a brief introduction to the business. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, you're going to have to facilitate Kaggle's Data Explorer. Also analyze the data. First, discuss the data and its attributes by exploring the data set, determining its dimensions, and describing the attributes. Next, you're going to evaluate the relevance of each attribute and identify any that can be discarded. Then assess if there's any missing or mismatched values in the data set and propose a strategy to handle it. Okay. Additionally, discuss how the executive team could potentially use the data to support decision making. Estimate what the business issues could be based on the data attributes. Your project proposal document should be well written. See, this is the reason why I'm really engaged in this one, because it's 2 pages long and free spelling and grammar errors. Okay, you may prepare your report by the following format. Okay, data, initial data analysis, estimated problems, references, at least one reference, following the APA7 format. Okay, so it's not going to be one reference. You guys know how many I want. So that's going to change to 3. So I said 1, but you know that I want 3. So it's always a minimum of 3 references with those in-text citations. So do a good job, because